Governor Kay Orr is sounding like a candidate these days. The governor was in Dawson County this afternoon. A registered dietitian from Healthies. Thanks, Leanne, for joining us today. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great week.
In 1979, I got my first job in television, and that was at KSTP-TV in North Platte, Nebraska. I was hired as the anchor reporter, and in a very short time, within 6 months, I became the news director at KSTP-TV. So I was one of the first female news directors in the country. And I worked there for 13 years. And then I got hired by KSTP-TV in the Twin Cities. So I went from the 213th market to the 13th market in one giant leap. And I did show producing. I also was a field producer and did the medical beat for more than a decade at KSTP.
Good evening, everyone. That's what the Transportation Secretary Samuel Skinner says about the possibility of a rail strike tonight.
Growing up, there weren't a lot of role models for television, female reporters, producers, any of that. If they were on television, they were usually the weather person, or they did the society news and things like that. So, but I always had a loving of news. It's one of the things that I like doing, always knowing what's going on, and always read newspapers and things like that. So it's in my blood, covering the news. You know, it seemed like it was like the golden years of television and when I first got started, you know, like how things have changed, has evolved to what it is today. And at that time, you know, there were 3 major networks. That's where a majority of people got their news from, and the newscasts were even shorter. When they first started, they were 15 minutes long, and then they went to half hour. But they found that it was very profitable for the small stations. They would start off with a half-hour newscast, and before you know, there's an hour-long newscast, or there's multiple newscasts, and then the morning show started, and you know, so that's really evolved over the years.
Yes, the North Platte High School principal is honored in an unusual way.
In my career, I've been very fortunate to interview people I would have only dreamed of growing up, from Hollywood, big Hollywood celebrities like Bob Hope and Johnny Carson. I didn't interview him, but I have a letter from him. We were trying to get him to come to an event in Nebraska. Music legends, Willie Nelson, and also to sports icons, Kirby Puckett. I mean, you name it. I mean, I've had the opportunity to interview people that I never dreamed of, including 5 of our U.S. presidents, from Gerald Ford to Jimmy Carter to Ronald Reagan to George Bush, and then Bill Clinton. Actually, President Clinton came to our TV station at KSTP when I was there. I've had the opportunity to interview Buzz Aldrin, the man who walked on the moon. So that was pretty exciting and thrilling to meet him in person and talk to him. He was so down to earth, you know, you wouldn't think someone who's been to outer space would be like that, but just very personable. My favorite part about storytelling and being involved, I love telling people stories. Everyone has such a great story, and I try to find that, what makes that person unique and special.
Jodi Ritacca Carlini has worked in all facets of TV in front of and behind the camera. She's worked in TV news, corporate medical media, as well as independent video production.
Last year, I was very honored and thrilled that I was nominated and I received a Silver Circle Award from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences for my 25 years plus in television. So it's not only for my work being recognized by my peers in that, but it's also giving back. You know, that I do things that are beyond just working at the TV station, beyond doing my work. It's trying to make a difference. Receiving this honor tonight, I truly feel like I have made it after all. Thank you. Of all the hats I've worn, you know, it's just, I still love telling stories and meeting people, and that's my favorite part. That's what I love doing. Even when we were doing the the live surgeries on the internet, that was pretty exciting. Live broadcasts, live surgery, anything could happen. We had to be prepared to dump out if we needed to do that. We had a backup video of a previous surgery. But just to hear people from around the world calling in questions, about this, and the surgeon is live, and it was for that 1 hour that they were broadcasting. And when we first started doing that, the producers thought this would be something professionals would want to watch. But we found we really had a lot more general public just watching and curious about things. Interesting thing, after we did one on kidney stones, I was at the one hospital, and this man, he goes, "I know you." And I looked at him, I think maybe I knew him from someplace, and he's got an IV, and he's obviously a patient at the hospital. And he said he saw my live surgery on the internet, and because of that, he was from Florida, that he wanted to have his surgery done here in the Twin Cities. Talk about the power of television and internet and media. I would say that my career in news has really opened my world to see and learn. I love learning, and I'm always learning, especially covering the health and medical beat. There's always something to learn and know about, but that has really opened up my whole world. I mean, I would never have dreamed this growing up, that this is something I'd be able to do and get to meet world leaders and be on top of what's going on in the world, especially in this time when things are changing so rapidly.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dennis, and thank you for joining us and for closing out the week with us on this Friday, April 5th.
Have a nice evening. We'll see you at 10.
Postcards is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota. Additional support provided by Margaret A. Cargill Philanthropies, Mark and Margaret Yakel-Julien on behalf of Shalom Hill Farms, a retreat and conference center in a prairie setting near Windham, Minnesota. On the web at shalomhillfarm.org. Alexandria, Minnesota, a year-round destination with hundreds of lakes, trails, and attractions for memorable vacations and events. More information at explorealex.com. The Lake Region Arts Council's Arts Calendar, an arts and cultural heritage funded digital calendar showcasing upcoming art events and opportunities for artists in West Central Minnesota. On the web at lrac4calendar.org. Playing today's new music plus your favorite hits, 96.7 Cram. Online at 967cram.com.